Welcome back, Maverick family, and we have some updates for you. Okay, so I'm excited to finally get somewhere in this process. We're going to talk a little bit about the process that Brock and I are going through with the whole baby making stage. So we'll dive into that as we're folding some clothes. So let's go. Oh man, who likes folding clothes? Not me. I definitely don't like doing it, but have to do it, right? You know, I wonder if I should make a robot that does it. There probably already is one. Alright, well, back on topic, guys. So, I think where we left off was you guys knew about, well, let me think about it. I don't really think you guys really know much at all, other than just we're getting ready to go to our fertility doctor and kind of see what they say about it all and so on and so forth. So a lot has happened since you guys last know. So we did get into a fertility doctor, and the first time that we saw her was basically just her telling us what she thinks, what we should expect, you know, so on and so forth. Well, she told us that she thinks it's just an ovulation problem that I'm having. So, to dive into that a little bit further, she did take some blood and they did some tests, and it came back that my prolactin levels were elevated. So, for a non-pregnant woman, I think the regular level is 25. At first, mine was 25.9. So, they're like, okay, we want you to do another blood test, but let's, what do they call it? I can't think. Fast. That's the word. Let's fast. So, I fasted and then went in for a blood test, you know, a couple days later. And that also came back elevated, but it was worse than what the first one was. So the first one, non-fasting, was 25.9, and then the fasting one was 28.6. So it skyrocketed compared to the last one, you know? So I was like, oh man, like this is crazy. What could be going on? So, and honestly, there's been a couple of times through this whole process where I did think I was pregnant, and so I would take like pregnancy tests just to rule that out. So this time I took a pregnancy test and there was like a faint line. So I'm like, hey, did you guys check for me being pregnant? Because could that be why my prolactin levels are elevated? And they're like, no, we haven't checked that. But I mean, do you think you could be? And I was like, well, there's a chance. And so then I went and did another blood test, and the pregnancy test came back negative, which, you know, is kind of devastating, but I have to just keep reminding myself that God does have a plan. So I was like, okay, well, it's just not time yet, right? So then we go to the next step, and the doctor was like, okay, well, not sure why your prolactin levels are elevated. And so now they want to send me to a specialist for that. So got that scheduled. That's going to be like next month sometime. But in the process, she decided she wanted to do this thing called NSIS, right? So it's basically a catheter is going up into your uterus and like squirting water / dye or air bubbles into your uterus to make sure that all of that in there is fine, and then also through the fallopian tubes to make sure that they're open, and so on and so forth. So just a few days ago, we were heading to, oh yeah, and we also have to get Brock tested. Well, we got that done, waiting for the results now. They should have them, but the nurse is not at the clinic right now, so hopefully she'll be back tomorrow and she'll tell us what that shows. But in the process, on the way to drop off Brock's test, we had to wait there for 20 minutes, and I was like, dude, we have to go. Like, I have an appointment. So, it took us a little while. We were running late, but thankfully not too late. We get there to the doctor's office for this SIS thing, and we wait for a little bit for the doctors to get ready. They call me back, you know, they do a pregnancy test to make sure I'm not pregnant, and then they go forward. So here we are. They put me in stirrups, and they're like, it's go time. Let's see what's going on, right? So they put the catheter in, and let me tell you, this SIS thing sucked. Like, it hurt so bad. Okay, honestly, they told me to take like ibuprofen or something before I got there, and I was like, oh, how bad could it hurt, you know? It hurt. So if you guys ever have an SIS done, take something beforehand, because that stuff hurts. So, of course, I was in some pain, and Brock's in the room holding my hand in case I need to squeeze it, which I did a couple of times. And they're like, you have to do an ultrasound while this is going on, so that way they can see like where the air bubbles are going, what the uterus looks like, so on and so forth. And so as soon as they see my ovaries, they're like, oh, okay, well, my ovaries look pearly. So if you guys know anything about that, that means PCOS. So they have diagnosed me with PCOS. Not the most exciting thing to hear, but I mean, I guess it could always be worse, right? So then they also had a hard time finding my right ovary. Finally found it, thank the Lord, but it also looked the same. So then they tried to put air bubbles through my fallopian tubes, but the first time they tried to do it, it hurt so bad, and they're like, okay, we think it's time to stop. And they couldn't see it on the ultrasound the first time, so at least I don't think. I was in so much pain, I can't tell you really what was going on at that exact moment. I don't think they could see the air bubble going through. So they stopped, and now the plan is that since they saw PCOS, they are going to give me some medication for when my next cycle rolls around. We'll take some medication, and it's supposed to help me ovulate to a normal base. So we're praying that the medication will help me ovulate like I'm supposed to, or close to how I'm supposed to, and then I'm supposed to get pregnant. So the doctor was like, if you don't see, or you're not pregnant in like the next couple of months, we want you to come back, and we'll take you over to the hospital, and then we'll shoot some dye through your fallopian tubes that way, to where it's not so painful, and we'll be able to tell if the tubes are open or not. They don't want to do that now because it is more expensive, and so they're trying to, you know, do the best they can without having to go to the biggest extent, or you know what I mean. But so that's the plan. So yep, we're just praying that God helps us, God strengthens us in this process, and we know He has a plan. We just have to trust it, and that hopefully we get pregnant in the next couple of months. That would be awesome. That's about it. I think that's all the updates. Here in like a day or two, we're going to be going to Illinois because my grandma recently passed away just a few days ago. Actually, she passed away as we were heading to do the SIS thing, so I'm gonna miss her. She was like the most, she was just awesome. I can't even put words to her because she was so amazing, but I'm gonna strive to be like her because she was a God-fearing woman. Like, she was so close to God, and that's exactly how I want to be. I want to be even closer, you know, so gonna strive for that. But it's just nice and eases my mind to know that She's no longer in a nursing home. You know, she couldn't get up and move much. She was kind of just bedridden, really. So it's nice to know that she's no longer like that. You know, she's rejoicing, playing guitar, playing piano, and singing and everything exactly how she used to be. Even better now, right? So, yep. A lot of things going on, but life is life, and God has a plan, and we are going to just keep trucking along and keep praying that we're going down the right path, and so on and so forth. So I haven't finished the clothes yet, but I'm close. Brock's not home yet, so I'm gonna go fix some chicken so it'll be done when he gets home. Yeah, so stay tuned for some more news, because eventually it's gonna be the best news ever. Praying it'll be soon. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. And if you guys are going through the same thing, just know that you're not alone. And we are praying for you. Don't know who you are or where you're at, but that doesn't matter. God knows, and He knows your heart. He hears your cries. So just stay strong and know that God is with you, and He will bless you when it's the perfect timing and His timing. So stay blessed, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you soon. Peace.